$2 billion. That's not a typo. Grand Theft Auto 6 reportedly has a development budget of $2 billion, making it the most expensive piece of entertainment media ever created. Not the most expensive game, the most expensive piece of media, period. And here's the thing, we've seen 2 trailers and a handful of screenshots. No gameplay, no release date we can truly count on. Nothing. So either Rockstar has completely lost their minds, or they know exactly what they're doing. And after spending weeks digging into patents, leaks, industry reports, and every frame of footage we have, I think I finally understand where all that money is going. And honestly, it's way bigger than anybody's talking about. Let's get right into it. Okay, so $2 billion. Let's put that into perspective because that number is actually insane. You could fund 10 Avengers Endgame movies with that budget. You could make 40 AAA titles like The Last of Us Part 2. You could literally buy an NFL team. The Tennessee Titans were valued at around $2 billion. That's the scale we're talking about here. Now, for context, GTA 5 cost around $265 million back in 2013. If you adjust that for inflation, that's about $380 million in today's money. So GTA 6 is costing Rockstar roughly 423% more than GTA 5. 4 times the budget, 4 times the investment. And that raises a massive question. What are they building that costs 4 times more than one of the most successful games ever made? Because here's the thing, GTA 5 still works. It's functional, it's fun, people still play it over a decade later. So you don't spend $2 billion just to make GTA 5 look prettier. You spend that kind of money when you're trying to fundamentally change how everything works. And I think that's exactly what Rockstar is doing. They're not just making a sequel, they're building something that's going to redefine what we expect from open-world games for the next decade. So let's break down where all that money is actually going. First up, the Rage engine. This is Rockstar's proprietary game engine, and based on everything we've seen, they've completely rebuilt it from the ground up. We're talking about technology that's been in development since Red Dead Redemption 2 shipped in 2018. That's over 6 years of R&D just on the engine alone. And when you factor in the salaries for hundreds of engineers working on cutting-edge tech for over half a decade, that's easily hundreds of millions right there. So what exactly are they building? Well, let's look at what we know. The lighting system in GTA 6 appears to use real-time ray tracing, combined with a new global illumination system. If you look at the trailers, the way light bounces off water, the way it filters through Lucia's ear cartilage, the way shadows dynamically shift as clouds move across the sky, this isn't just better graphics. This is a completely new rendering pipeline that's calculating light in real time across an absolutely massive open world. Then there's the procedural interior generation system. Rockstar filed a patent for this a few years back, and based on the trailer footage, it looks like most buildings in Vice City will be enterable. Not just key story locations, actual residential buildings, hotels, office buildings, shops. And here's the crazy part. The patent describes a system where these interiors are generated procedurally, but populated with unique details and NPCs that make them feel handcrafted. You can actually see this in the trailer. When you're far away from a building, the interior appears as a 2D projection. But as you get closer, it generates a full 3D space. That's insane tech, and developing something like that takes years and costs a fortune. The water simulation alone probably cost tens of millions to develop. Multiple sources have suggested that over 100 people worked specifically on the water physics and visuals. And if you look at the ocean shots in the trailer, the way waves form, break, and interact with boats, the underwater caustics, the foam patterns on the beach, this is probably the most realistic water ever rendered in a video game. And water is everywhere in GTA 6. The entire eastern border is ocean. There are swamps, rivers, pools, the Florida Keys. They couldn't cut corners on this. Now let's talk about the map itself, because this is where things get really interesting. Based on leaked coordinates and community mapping projects that have achieved 95 to 98% accuracy, we know that GTA 6's map is roughly 70% larger than GTA 5. But here's the thing, it's not just bigger, it's exponentially more detailed. Every single NPC in the trailer has a unique body type, unique clothing, unique animations. Look at the beach scene. There are dozens of people, and every single one is doing something different. One guy's applying sunscreen to someone else. Another person's taking a photo. A couple is playing with their dog. These aren't just random spawned NPCs walking in circles. These are characters with routines, with purposes, with details down to the sand on their feet and the specific phone model they're holding. The environmental detail is on another level too. You can see individual pieces of trash blowing in the wind. There are tire marks on roads that persist. Dust kicks up when characters move. Leaves scatter when cars drift around corners. In one shot, you can actually see handprints on the back of Jason's car. Just a small detail that most people would miss, but it's there. That level of environmental storytelling and persistence takes an enormous amount of memory, processing power, and development time. And then there are the interiors. In the leaked footage from 2022, we saw incredibly detailed interiors for places like Hank's Waffles Diner. I'm talking about coffee pots placed under machines, ingredient containers, waffle makers, cleaning supplies, cups on counters, scuff marks on carpets, details that most games would never bother with. Now multiply that level of detail across potentially thousands of enterable buildings. The asset creation alone would require hundreds of artists working for years. The game also features a full day-night cycle with dynamic weather systems that appear way more advanced than anything in GTA 5. You can see in the trailer that storms don't just change the sky, they change how NPCs behave, how light interacts with surfaces, how water accumulates on roads. This kind of systemic weather requires sophisticated simulation tech and tons of testing. But here's where I think a huge chunk of that budget went: artificial intelligence. Not just AI for NPCs, but AI systems that make the entire world feel alive and reactive in ways we've never seen before. In the leaked footage, there are references to hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of random world events. We're talking about events like angry confrontations, drug deals, animal encounters, vehicle discoveries, stunt performers, police chases initiated by other NPCs, not just the player. Each of these events has specific triggers and conditions. The game is constantly checking what the player is doing, where they are, what time it is, what they're wearing, whether they're wanted by police, and then dynamically spawning appropriate events. There's also a witness and recognition system. If you commit a crime in front of someone, they remember you. If you steal a car and there's a witness, they can describe that specific vehicle to police. NPCs now react contextually to situations. In one leaked clip, when police finally arrive at a robbery, an NPC says, "Jesus, finally," showing awareness of the delay. That's not a scripted moment, that's systemic awareness. The partner AI is also dramatically improved. In the footage where Lucia and Jason rob a store together, you can give Jason commands, tell him to follow you or surrender, coordinate your actions. The game tracks both characters' inventories separately, and they can share items between them. This suggests a really sophisticated co-op style AI system for the story mode. And then there's the police AI, which seems completely overhauled. Instead of instantly spawning near you like in GTA 5, there's now a dispatch delay. Police set up roadblocks. They coordinate with each other. They bring specific equipment for different situations. In one clip, you can see a cop with a bulletproof helmet specifically exiting the vehicle during a shootout. They're adapting to the threat level. Developing AI systems this complex requires machine learning engineers, years of iteration, and massive amounts of testing. This isn't just make the NPC walk from point A to point B. This is creating systems where thousands of NPCs all have their own logic, react to each other, and create emergent gameplay moments. Now let's talk about production costs. The motion capture and voice acting for a game this size is astronomical. Rockstar's mocap work is industry-leading. Just look at Red Dead Redemption 2's performances. For GTA 6, they're capturing not just the main story, but potentially hundreds of hours of dialogue for random NPCs, multiple language tracks for Spanish-speaking characters, ambient conversations, radio content, and all the contextual dialogue for those dynamic world events. They've also been working with multiple studios around the world simultaneously. Rockstar has studios in New York, London, San Diego, New England, Toronto, and more, all contributing to this project. Coordinating that many teams across different time zones, maintaining consistent quality and vision, and managing the sheer logistics of a project this size requires an enormous management and production infrastructure. Then there's the music licensing. GTA games are known for their incredible radio stations with real licensed music. For a game set in a fictionalized Florida with Latin influences, you're looking at licensing costs for potentially hundreds of songs across multiple decades and genres. That alone could be tens of millions of dollars. But here's what I think is the real reason for that $2 billion budget. I don't think Rockstar is just building GTA 6. I think they're building a platform that will last for the next 10 to 15 years, similar to how GTA 5 and GTA Online have sustained them since 2013. All of this technology, the procedural interiors, the advanced AI systems, the new Rage engine, this isn't just for a single-player campaign, this is infrastructure. This is a foundation that can support a living, evolving online world that can grow and expand for over a decade. GTA Online makes Rockstar billions of dollars. With GTA 6 Online, they're probably planning something even bigger. Think about it. With procedurally generated interiors, they can add new buildings, new businesses, new properties for players to own without having to handcraft every single room. With advanced AI systems, they can create dynamic events that feel fresh even years after launch. With that massive map, they have room to expand, maybe adding new cities, new regions over time. This isn't just a $2 billion game. This is a $2 billion investment in Rockstar's future. And when you look at it that way, when you realize they're not just selling you a $70 game, but building an ecosystem that could generate revenue for the next decade, that budget starts to make a lot more sense. So that's where I think the $2 billion is going. Cutting-edge technology, an unprecedented level of world detail, revolutionary AI systems, massive production costs, and most importantly, building a platform for the future. Rockstar isn't just making a game. They're making a statement about what's possible in this medium. And honestly, I can't wait to see if they pull it off. What do you guys think? Where do you think the money is going? What are they not showing us yet? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to dive deeper into GTA 6 leaks, trailers, and everything we know so far, I've got a full playlist you can check out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.